You told me to sit on your feet.
I don't want you doing. No.
Hi everyone.
You're on my way.
Hi, we're finally back with our Q&A video. I got kind of a lot more questions than I was expecting, and then I had to figure out the best way to answer them so it's not just rambling on and like
Guess what?
a huge circle. So I figured out a good way to put the questions together, so now we're gonna answer them.
Guess what? It's Miss Marcia's birthday!
It is Miss Marcia's birthday. You gotta tell them who Miss Marcia is, they don't know.
Miss Marcia is my baby.
Okay, in the last video I told you guys, like, my dad's side of the family is from here. So in 2012 or 2013, I actually came to visit with my dad here. I came here to visit, what?
Why you're right there?
Okay, so like I was saying, I came to visit here, and my granddad was actually here at the time. So we came and we visited Siquieres and we visited Limon. I got to see for the first time a whole different side of life and a whole different way of life that before that I had never been exposed to, and I wasn't really interested because I think at the time I wanted to move to New York and all of that. I had never really identified as like an Afro-Latina or anything like that in my life. I knew, you know, my family came from Panama and Costa Rica, but it didn't really mean anything to me because I didn't really spend that much time with that side of my family. So when I came and I got to see all these melanated people just living their Caribbean life, I was like, I want some of that. Can I please have some of that? At that point in my life, I had really gotten into nature, and I was like, oh, I just want to go and like backpack and do all these things. And then I got pregnant. So I waited, and then I had Noah, and then I still had this yearning. You know, it didn't go away. So I came back, and I actually spent time on the Pacific coast. And then toward the end of my trip, I spent like a week over here on the Caribbean side, and I again was like, okay, how do I get back there? Like, now that goes to how long did it take to plan. This is not something I woke up a month ago and said, oh, I'm going, like I don't know what I'm doing, you know, I'm just gonna hop out here. Like, no, that's not how it went. Like I said, from 2012 or 2013, this has always been on my mind. And even through all of life, like having a baby, having another baby, getting married, I always said, like, this is what I'm gonna do, whether it was living in Costa Rica or whether it was living in Mexico or whether it was living in an RV and just driving all over the country, I mean all over the world, which I still plan to do. I'm still looking at RVs actively. But anyway, since I've had kids, it's like even more something that I want to do because I want to do it for them. Like, I want them to have this super unique upbringing where, you know, they just have an incredible story. We were here, we did this, we did all these things. So yeah, again, it's not something I just woke up one day and said, oh, I'm gonna do this. Like, I've been planning this since before I had kids. So before coming to Costa Rica, we actually went to Mexico. We stayed in Mexico for like a month and a half. I feel like Mexico was a good ease in because it's right there, like it's not that far. It's close enough to amenities that we're used to, and it was a good, it was a good entry travel experience. So when it came time to plan this, I kind of already knew certain things, like what to expect or what I needed to plan for. So it wasn't that hard. I decided to move to Costa Rica in April. And then I moved here in July. So that's April, May, June, July, 4 months. And the reason that it took me 4 months is because I had to get a lot of things in order, like with our house back at home, getting it ready for Airbnb and just setting that whole thing up. I just wanted to take my time getting things ready and not putting too much stress on myself. Everything that I could control, I wanted to make sure I had it under control, since I did, come here with 2 kids. I didn't want to just be out in the wilderness. Now, if I was by myself with no kids, I would have bought a ticket the same day I made up my mind with 1 backpack and came out here and just did the whole free living thing. But it's not that easy with kids. So the next question, it's gonna be like 1 question, but I'm gonna answer a bunch of things in this 1 question. So what all did I need to get prepared to leave? So like I said, I took the 4 months. I did need everything. I took the 4 months to get everything ready. So let me tell you all those things that I had to get ready. If you're planning to move anywhere, really, even if you're in the States, I recommend finding Facebook groups for that area. I joined the black and the white groups because you can never have enough information, you can never have enough knowledge. So I joined both. But I definitely recommend joining a black group if you're black, because things are just gonna be different there. It just feels more welcoming. I feel like I can ask a question and not have all the trolls, and because sometimes those other groups, they can oh, you don't know that? Well, if you don't know that, then you shouldn't be coming. What? Why do you talk to people like that? I don't experience that in the black groups. My first recommendation to anyone who's looking to do this journey, get on Facebook. If you don't even have a Facebook, create an account and join these groups, because they're gonna give you so many resources that you literally can't find anywhere else. There's nowhere else to find these kind of things. All right, finding a house was the first thing I needed to do to feel ready to leave. I didn't want to just show up in a new country and have nowhere to stay. I did not use Airbnb. I did look on Airbnb first, but the prices were wildly expensive, and I knew I could find better prices. So again, that's where Facebook Marketplace really came in handy, because people are always posting things for rent, even things for sale. So I recommend Facebook over Airbnb. If you're coming for a short time and you want to do the whole super luxury expensive thing, that's okay. But I knew I needed someone for a month, and I was trying to pay less than what I'm paying at home, because otherwise, no. The next thing to prepare for when you're coming to a place like this is transportation. So I knew we'd get off the plane and we'd have to find a way to get to our house. When I came by myself in 2016, I just got on the bus and I had my 1 suitcase and I went. But this time I had 6 pieces of luggage and 2 kids. So I knew I needed a private driver to bring us wherever we were going. And I wasn't trying to rent a car right away, because renting a car here is not simple, but sometimes it can be really expensive based on who you're going through. And I wasn't trying to get off the plane and have to drive myself and do all that. So I was like, let me just find someone. Facebook again. I asked the question in the Black Expats group. Someone recommended a driver, and this man has been so helpful to me this whole time. He's like my uncle out here. He helps me with everything. His wife is actually the lady that watches Eli and Noah for me. So it's been really good for creating that network. The other question about preparing for this move is, how much money do you need to save, and how much money would I recommend you having when you're coming on a trip? So I'm just gonna break it down for you for what I paid for before coming. For our 3 plane tickets, it was pretty expensive. Number 1, I thought Eli was gonna be a lap baby, so I did not factor in buying his plane ticket at all. Number 2, I started off using Southwest Airlines to get our tickets, and Southwest to me always has the best prices. I love Southwest. I fly them all the time, everywhere. However, coming here, they only had connecting flights, and the thought of having 2 kids by myself and trying to do 1 flight and another flight, and it was 12 hours. I was like, nah, I can't do it. So then I went to Delta, and I saw that they had the straight through direct flights, 4-hour flight, not bad at all. But each of our tickets were $200 something plus the taxes. So in all for the flights, it was about $900 for the 3 of us. one way. That was kind of expensive. Flights were like $900, and then I found my house before we came on Facebook, so I had to pay the first month's rent and the and a deposit. Total with just the rent and flights, I'm already at like $2,400. That's not including like transportation, getting to where we need to go, and like little things like food for the kids and snacks and all that. And then just once you get here, yeah, like $3,000. Just to get started is what I would recommend having saved and put aside. And when I say saved and put aside, we all live our lives differently. I'm someone that really values security, so I don't like spending all my money at once. It makes me very anxious. So when I say $3,000 saved, that's like saved to be used, not saved and like then you have nothing left. Because as I mentioned, did I even say all this? I don't know. But when I got here, things happened. Things came up. There were so many things that were unexpected. And so you don't want to come out here and be like, oh man, I just spent all that money, the only money I had to get here. Now I have no money for incidentals. Like, you want to make sure that you still have an actual savings. You want to make sure that you have money coming in. You don't want to be like just destitute. Unless that's your thing, unless you just like to like fly by the wind. I don't recommend it because I'm not comfortable that way. But I know other people who thrive in that kind of situation, and maybe that's you. I don't know. And then the other thing that I keep getting asked is my income. How am I able to sustain out here in another country? I do have a online job. And I had this job pre-pandemic. It was already virtual, which was a major blessing. I got this job in 2017 or 2018. Maybe 2018. And so I was working from home, and aside from working from home, after I did the program in 2016, I've been teaching English like online every now and then. So there are multiple things that I was already doing online, which is why I kept, wanting to like live in an RV or like travel. And I am working from home, and similarly, Noah is doing Cyber Academy. Depending on how long we are gonna be here,
I want to stay here forever.
I will let him actually go to school here, but their schools are on a different timeline than they are in the U.S. So in the U.S., we go from August or September to July. Here they go from February to November. So
February is my birthday, and I don't want to miss it.
You won't miss it. So yeah, he can't start now because they're at the end of the school year, and he's not transferring from a Costa Rican school. So he would have to start in February if we're still here. So right now he's doing Cyber Academy kindergarten, just like, he was doing virtual last year. So it's really not any different than what he was doing already at home. Plus, with the pandemic still going on and the mask mandate coming back, all the kids might be virtual. So who knows? Now that leads me to the next question. How long do we plan to be here?
50 days. 50 days.
Oh, we're almost at the 50-day mark now. So yeah, I really don't know. Initially, I see it's a granddaddy long leg, yeah. When I initially made the plan to come here, I told myself I would say for 6 months to really give myself time to fill it out and see how I felt about it. And at this point, I'm still trying to figure out like if this is somewhere I would like to stay. Where'd it go? Right now I'm just playing around with the ideas in my head, like, okay, maybe we do this like once a year, or live somewhere for half the year and then the other half of the year we live in the States. I don't know. I mean, who knows anything anyway.